Welcome back to another video, guys, and today we are back on with the i240 restoration project. Now, we've been cracking on with this in the background. There's a few bits been done since the last video that we've just not had a chance to film, so I'll walk through a few bits with you, get you up to speed with where we are currently at and what we are going to be doing on this episode. So, to start with, you'll see now we do have the electric power steering installed, and it does actually work. So this has all been fixed in properly now. It's all bolted up to the column is bolted to the steering rack, and we've put the wiring in for the most part, and we've actually trialed this and it does work. It powers up and the steering is nice and light, so that's all now pretty much complete. There's just a few bits of wiring that still needs to be tidied up, as you can see here. Just wants a few cable ties, a few clips, tidied that off up behind the dash, and that is that bit done. We've got the rear seat belts in position now as well. I can't fasten the bottom parts until we get the carpet in, because there's a couple of runners that bolt just down here which the bottom of the seat belts slide onto, so the carpets need to go in before we can finish those. We've got the rear quarter cars just about to go in as well, and we have also got the roof liner installed. That was a bit of a mission. That took the majority of a day last weekend to get this in. There's still a few little creases in there, but it has been folded up in a box, so hopefully those creases will relax over time as the car gets used, and hopefully those creases will eventually fall out. Now, there is some grab handles and stuff that still need putting in, which will pull this even tighter once those bits are bolted in as well, and obviously the sun visors have got to go in, which will pull all this up a little bit tighter as well. We've satin blacked all around here, ready for the trim going on. This is just so you can't see the colour, the body colour behind the trim. So there's a black trim that runs all the way around here, and then you have the louvers on the side as well. I've just sanded down these A-pillar trims both sides, and the reason for that is we need to put some material on here now to tie it into the roof trim and the dashboard. I've sanded this nice and smooth just so that no lumps and bumps and stuff come through the material, because we've got to glue some sort of vinyl material up the sides there, so we want it nice and smooth just so that there's no bits showing through that. So that's sanded down, ready for the trim to go on. Once that trim's in, that means we can then move into fixing the dashboard down and get the clocks in, and then start looking into the carpet, and the glass can go in at that point as well. Over here we have the trim that's just been painted, so we've gone for gloss black this time, which we think will look really nice against the orange. Normally this stuff's satin black, but I think that's going to look really nice against the orange. And then we've got the radiator tray, what we call the radiator tray, which we've done in white to match the engine cover. So the radiator tray fits in that slot there. Now, with all this being white, we just thought we'd bring a little bit of that white forward and put that in there. So we're going to try it on, see what it looks like. If we're not happy with it, or Kevin's not happy with it because it's his car after all, then we will black that out. But I think that's going to look really nice, just to bring a bit more of that white into the engine bay. So we're going to crack on, guys. Now we're going to start to trim up these A-pillars. We're going to get some templates made for those, get those cut, get those stuck on, and then we'll work our way through and see where we get to by the end of this episode. Right, so we finally got these A-pillars trimmed up. A bit of a pain, to be honest, because we've had to start from scratch with these and cut them to shape and everything, but they're in now and they look good. We just put some little bits of seal on just to hold them in place while they set, and then we've got the seal on this edge, just pinning it in there, keeping that down until the glue sets. But look alright, happy with those. Kev's now just on with installing the dash binnacle, or the clocks, plugging all this in. So we've got quite a lot of plugs on the back of this, and then we've obviously got the speedo cable to go in there as well. Dashboard is now bolted in. We've put these vents in the dash as well, so we can now start to route the pipe work up to these vents, and then we can start to look at getting the windscreen in. Brand new screen this, bought from the Opel Manta Owners Club. This is a green tint screen, so we think the green's going to go really nice against the orange and the black, just give it a bit of a nice different kind of look. I mean, it's not a massive tint, you can see it's just very light green tint in that glass. Kev's going to finish off just popping this dash binnacle in now. Power steering wiring is all done. Tom's doing a little bit of satin blacking for us. We've got the seat bases hung up here, getting blacked out. We've got the handbrake down there, getting blacked out. They'll be ready to go in pretty soon once they've dried off, and then we can get this in, start working our way around the glass. Right, so we're ready for this screen going in now. So we've cleaned these seal up. As you can see there, we've got some paracord, some fairy liquid, and a bit of tape. So what we're going to do, we're going to put the seal on the new screen. This is a brand new screen. Once we've got the seal on the screen, we're then going to put some fairy liquid around the inside of the seal. That just helps the seal glide into the frame of the car. Then we're going to tape the paracord to the inside of the screen. We drop the rear of the screen in first, and then we sort of press it round and just pull the paracord out. which then pulls the seal around the edge of the frame on the car. So let's get to it, let's get the seal on, let's get the screen in the car. Right, let's do this. So that is the front screen now in. That went in pretty easily, to be fair. A lot of people don't like fitting their own windscreens, but these are quite easy, especially using that technique with the paracord and a bit of fairing just to help it go in. So that's set in pretty well. Still got to put the spreader strips in here yet, which we've got some new for. That's all got to go in at a later date because we've got to get the back screen in. Now, we can't just put the back screen in right now because we need to do the speaker build in the back shelf because it's having some quite large subs in the back shelf. By the time the window's in and the size of the magnet on the bottom of those subs, it's not going to actually fit through the hole. So we're going to leave the back screen out for now until we've got the subs fitted in there. We are going to put some sort of MDF over here as well, just to strengthen it all up before we put those speakers in. So the next thing to do is we're looking at these quarter glass windows. Before they can go in, we've actually got to fit all this satin black trim that goes all the way around these edges, and then the seal actually pinches the trim and this interior quarter card as well, and it all sort of ties in with the seal, and the seal pins that all into place. So that is the next thing to do. We'll get these trims on. But just before we put these trims on, we're going to be putting some seal around the edges just to stop the water getting up underneath them. It also helps pin these down. This is a non-setting sealant because obviously if we ever do need to take these trims off again, we know we can get it back off without it being like sticker flex down. These are only quite thin aluminium trims, so if you do glue them down, the chances of getting them back off without bending them are just sort of no chance really. So, and they are very hard to get. So yeah, we are using some non-setting sealer to pin these down with. So we're going to run around the edges now. We're going to go and get the trims and then plant the trims on top of these, screw it all down, and hopefully that should hold it all in place. So we're about ready to put the rear quarter glass in now. Now the common thing with these Mantas is that these tabs break off. And these are the tabs that hold the quarter glass into the car and what they hinge on when you want to open the quarter glass up. Now we've got these, which are a replacement of the originals, which was made by a friend of ours. Now these are they're better than the factory ones because they're a lot stronger, and obviously there's a bigger area to bond to using those than there is just with these little tabs. Now you can try and glue these little tabs back on, but they never seem to stay on. They always fall off, your glass drops down, and it's just an absolute nightmare. So what we need to do now is we're going to try and heat this up to soften the glue a bit, break that off, and then we can try and bond these ones on. Now, only way of doing this really is with that. We're going to give it a little waff, warm it up, and try and break it off with some mole grips. So fingers crossed, this don't break, that comes off, and we can get those on there.
And that is an incredibly rare piece of glass. That's an early B green rear quarter.
Unetched.
Unetched, and I don't think I've got any others.
Let's do it.
Gonna explode. Well scared.
Oh,
what's that? Look at the heat transfer in that glass though. Oh,
how warm is it? That's alright.
I was expecting drama. I'm disappointed. Let's do another.
You'd be more disappointed if your window broke.
Yeah, definitely.
How much you want in there?
All of it.
Alright, good to go.
Yeah. Get some spacers. I'm going to try 3 mils at the end. About 3 threes. Out, fingers.
Right, so that's all the gloss black trim fitted. Now what we've done here, as I was explaining earlier, we've now bonded these onto the glass, but what we found was with the seal being in the car, it was actually pressing on this and it was pushing this out, so it was causing the glass not to touch the seal in the corners. So what we've had to do is take the seal back out, and then it's allowed this to go in slightly. So once this is set, obviously it'll be allowed to put pressure on it then once the window closes, once the glue is set. So that seal is back out, but that will only take 2 minutes to go back in, so that's not an issue. Got all the trim on all around here. How nice is that looking, guys? I think that gloss black trim looks absolutely amazing against that orange, and obviously we've got the side louvers to go in here as well once we finish installing the quarter glass, and they are also in gloss black. We've got the window fitted, that went in nice and easy. I'll show you around here. All the trim fitted around here as well, and she's looking absolutely mint. The orange and black just pops, doesn't it? And then we've got the dashboard in, or the dash top in. We've got the clocks in as well. And then that top hat of the dash fitted as well. As I was saying again earlier, the power steering is now installed as well. I'll get Kevin to just show you the difference this actually makes on the car. So I'll show you how it steers with the power steering off, and then we'll turn the power steering on and show you how much easier it makes it. So this is power steering off. As you can see, there's a lot of resistance on that. And then if we turn the power steering on,
Back to the middle. Right.
which is done using that little dial we fitted there.
And you can vary the resistance.
So you can have this as light or as tight as you like it.
So that's as
light as it'll go. Shows you how much easier that is.
do one hand.
Back off.
The clicking, something going on in there, which I need to fix. And we're off. Hey man.
It just shows you how much of a difference that makes. So the next thing's really to do on this now is to start installing all the underneath sections of this dashboard, including the glove box. We need to get the handbrake lever in, and then there's a little wire that comes from the handbrake and just goes up behind the dash, which gives you the little parking light on the dashboard. So when your handbrake's on, the light comes on. When your handbrake's off, the light goes off. We can then start to get all the carpets in. Need to look at getting the subs. Kev's got some subs on order, so we can start to build the audio for the back shelf, and then we can get the rear screen in. And obviously we've still got this glass to put in, but we're going to leave this one to set first, and then we can use our clamp on that side. And so we're going to have to do these one at a time, basically. And then I think it's pretty much, once we've done that, we're going to start to look into the brakes. So we have done a rear disc conversion on there, and this is actually a BMW 1 Series set up on the back, because obviously we've changed this now to a 5 stud, so this is 5B120, where it used to be 4B100. So this gives us the BMW fitment for the wheels. So these are the wheels we're going to be using, but obviously they do need a refurb. So that's one of the things we're going to be looking at next as well, is getting the caliper mounts made up for the brake setup on the back. Originally they are drum, and we've put a rear disc conversion on. The front brakes are all fitted. We've used BMW M3 discs on the front with Lancia Delta Integrale Evo 2 4-pot Brembo calipers. They're all mounted up and fitted and piped up. So basically they're ready for bleeding up, but we can't do that until the calipers are installed on the rear. Got the wiper arms to go on, then we can start looking at getting the headlights in. And we've also fitted, actually I've got to show you this bit, we've also fitted the back flash there on the back end as well. Rear lights are in, so those can be wired up, and we can test that those work. And then we can actually get our louvers fitted on, get this back end all buttoned up, and then start to put the seats and all the rest of the interior in. So yeah, going places pretty quickly, this one. We have painted the seat bases, which are hung up there and there. They're ready to go in, which should come together really fast and really well. But we have run out of time on this episode, guys. I hope you have enjoyed this video. If you have, please do hit that subscribe button. Give us a like, give us a share, smash that hype button, and we'll see you all on the next video.